I want to get more involved in organizing, but I don't know where to start. Start here. Over the past 4-ish years of organizing in New York City, I've met many people who've asked questions like, how do I get started? How do I find a group? What's the most effective thing to do? And more. So I made a series of viral Instagram videos that answer these questions and more. These are videos that people have described as easy to follow, accessible, actionable, practical, just what they need. And so this YouTube video is like a package of some of those videos. So yes, it is kind of a mix of like horizontal and vertical oriented videos with some commentary in between. This is something I hope that people can just send to anyone who wants like one video that's easy to follow, accessible, actionable, just like a guide to get them started. So this first video is like a larger roadmap for how to get political slowly. You move too fast, you may burn out. Or get jaded. Here we go. How you and your friends can get more political slowly based on real life examples. So let's say last week you didn't really do anything related to politics or organizing. Kind of like this. Spend a month or two to try to do some of the stuff on this list. Once you've set a good baseline in this category, spend a few months trying to do something in this category. This category is definitely the most fun. All right, I'm going to pause here. This step or this zone involves having political friends, which in retrospect, I realize some people may not have any. Also because people literally, message me being like, what happens if you have no friends? So if you don't have any political friends, you're watching this right now, you're going to need some friends to organize with eventually, right? And so this is why we're going to pause from this main video and go to this separate video instead real quick called How to Find Friends to Organize With. So you're political, but you're by yourself. You want to find friends to do politics with. Here are some ways to do that based on real life examples. We're gonna go from easiest to hardest, most introverted to most extroverted. Option number 1, create a close friends list on Instagram of like the 10 most political mutuals you have. Whenever you go do something or you want to do something, post on that close friend story and just see if anybody else wants to do anything. Option 2, message a few people and see if they want to be in like a small political group chat, build a small political pod you can fall back on when you need to like rant or ask for ideas or virtual phone banking over Zoom. Option 3, use ChatGPT to, I'm just kidding, real option 3, in your day-to-day life when you're going to class, going to work, whenever you hear people complain about the current political situation, use that moment to tell them about 1 or 2 things you're doing and ask if they're interested in joining. Option number 4, find a small protest or rally near you, like a tenant rally. You're looking for something that doesn't have that many people where it feels overwhelming, maybe like 20 people or less. When the group's smaller, you have more chances to really talk with people one-on-one. So how'd you hear about this? Option 5. A lot of people do this where they go to like a gigantic march or protest or try to find someone there. A lot of the time you're pretty much yelling just to be heard. It's kind of like you're at a concert. What's your name? Option number 6, find a group to organize with. I got a separate video on that here. I got no more options. All right, moving on. So you have friends, you've done stuff together as a friend group, everything's solid. I have some friends who only do political things with their friends, and that's just, like the most they want to do, and that's a lot better than, doing things individually. But eventually, I meet many people who want to do like larger collective actions, usually through like a more formal group, like an organizing group. So this next video is on how to find a group to organize with. It primarily uses Instagram and some online directories. So you want to get involved with organizing, but you don't know how. Here's a step-by-step. Step 1, if you haven't already, is to just ask your friends what they're involved with and go with them to their next action or meeting. Now, let's say your friends are not involved with anything, you have no friends in your area, or you want to do something different than what your friends are doing. Step 2 is to go on Instagram, search for your city plus one organizing related word, and look at the For You page, look at the hashtags, look at the reels, and find one group that's remotely related to your interests. Emphasis on remotely, don't be picky, it's useful for step 3. So for example, if I moved to St. Louis tomorrow, I would start by just searching St. Louis organizing. My For You page at the moment looks like this. I found this one called Action St. Louis Power. If I go to accounts, I see St. Louis Anti-Racism Organizing Committee. And if I look at the hashtags, there's another group about like tenants in St. Louis. Step 3, see who they're following on Instagram, because they will be much more connected to other organizing groups in the city. This is like the jackpot. This is who I found just by seeing who that tenant group in St. Louis follows. Step 4, put all these groups on a list, like a notepad. Step 5, find one group you like out of the options that you have. Go to an activity that group is doing in real life. Meet some of the people in the group, ask them questions about their group, kind of just pay attention to how you're feeling. Step 6, find a group you like enough to consistently hang out with and just keep showing up. So since the making of this video, someone I know actually made this work in progress directory of different organizing groups in the US. So I'm actually going to plug that here. The website's pretty straightforward. Find one and truly just check out that group in real life. I would still lean towards using Instagram because, groups will make an Instagram page first and then maybe eventually get added to a directory, but not the other way around. And this is the final part of that video on the art of getting political slowly. And after who knows how long, try and do some of this stuff. I think this is where we're all going. So that was all of part 1, the actiony stuff. For some of you, that may be all you need. Part 2 is just some stuff on like mentality and mindset for, the long run, essentially. So yeah, here we go. Sometimes the leftist you're fighting with the most is the one inside your own head. Today I want to talk about these 4 concerns that can keep people stuck inside their own heads, not doing anything in real life, with some real life examples for how to get over this. Concern number 1, I don't know enough. Unlike an entry-level job in America, organizing requires 0 years of previous experience. I've been to meetings hosted by several different organizing groups over the years, and again, unlike an entry-level job in America, none of them have ever required me to have a specific degree, or show them a portfolio of work, or take a 20-minute unpaid personality test. Concern number 2, the group doesn't meet what I want. Depending on what you're looking for, that group may or may not exist in general. But I think of looking for a group kind of like shopping for classes in college. Like, you can check out a lot of classes to see what you like, but after that period is over, you have to register for something. I know some friends who formed their own group, some who joined a group they liked enough to contribute to it, and some who split time between 2 groups. Each group meets a part of what they're looking for. Concern number 3, I don't know what's the most effective thing I can do. I talked about this in a previous video, but I think the most effective thing is just doing things together. Doing things individually is just so America coded, and common side effects that we see include burnout, depression, anxiety, hopelessness, and going back to the internet and mainly being an online leftist. So when you're starting out, don't hyper-focus on whether, calling is better than canvassing, whether it's calling, canvassing, going to a workshop, going to a picket line or protest. Find a friend, find somebody, do things together. Concern number 4, I'm introverted or shy. Yeah, that's real. I would say start with something low stimulus, like a general meeting or a workshop where you don't have to say anything except an introduction, or maybe like a mutual aid distribution where your interactions would be very calm and predictable, or bring an extroverted friend and have them do more of the talking. If you made it this far, thank you so much. This is the last video just as a reminder for myself, for others, to always act more than we react. At the time of this recording, Trump might get all of us involved in a war against Iran because of Israel. We have a lot of ICE raids and anti-ICE protests.
We have AI videos that are looking more and more real. We have a new COVID variant that just started in California, and I'm sure there's more news that's happening as I'm recording this video. All this to say, I trust all of us to act more than we react, and to pick something that we can commit to more than once.
I spent more of my life reacting to things than doing things is a sentence that I never want to be true. Every day there are enough new tweets and videos and responses to those videos that we can react to until we fall asleep and wake up the next day. But only some of that stuff may change how we organize our tactics, our strategy, and our relationships. I think about how for physics, there's a law that says for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. But for organizing, I think this relationship should be flipped. For every reaction that we have, there should be an equal and opposite action. For every 1 hour we spend reacting to whatever we see in front of us, we can spend 1 hour trying to do something for our group or our community. Whether it's drafting some emails or messages, or planning a meeting, or reaching out to someone that you want to be in your movement. And if you don't have a group, then you can spend that 1 hour getting closer to finding one. What helps me is turning off notifications for Instagram for 23 hours a day. And I have timers for TikTok and Twitter to help me spend less time just purely reacting to things and more time learning the languages and other skills that I think will really help me with organizing and with connecting with people in real life.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Usually at the end of videos, people say something inspiring, like a better world is possible or something. Do more politics together over time.